Okay guys, we're going to go to the Trader Clinic and ask Scruff. And it's an interesting question. It's quite a difficult question to answer because there's not a one-fits-all answer to it, which there isn't in trading anyway. I know a lot of people get upset when I talk about gambling and magic pills and everything like that. And quite frankly, they shouldn't be trading in the first place. And one of the reasons why they kick off is because they can't do it. But they can't do it because they're looking for shortcuts. But if you plan things out, you probably got the right track. And that's roughly where this question comes from. So let me kind of flick it over and show you. So it's to little Casper, a little salute to you, you good looking little sod. How do you level up? Right, okay. You've done you're patient. Excellent, that's the first track. You do your homework, even better, you're ahead of the curve. Trading what you see, next part of the puzzle. And overall it's been good and you're looking to upgrade your skills. Fantastic, I'm glad the group's helping you. Now, you've been making 0.2 to 0.5% a week and you want to move it up to 1% a week. How do you approach this? Obviously in December the markets are slow. Okay. Let me just sort of stick my 2p thing. First of all, when you have an arbitrary figure of I must make X, you can put untold pressure on yourself. Now, obviously the bigger the account, percentages start to come into it, but believe it or not, the bigger the account, the percentages start working against you as opposed to a small account. So if you've got a small account and you want to do 10% a week, it's not difficult simply because you're probably over leveraged to the size of the account. So by nature, it'll push the percentages up. Now you do that with a big account, suddenly your mindset starts taking over as well. If you've got a sort of 6-figure account and you're looking at some colossal losses, like sort of 10 and 12,000 pound losses, it plays havoc with your mind, even though from a percentage point of view, it's probably minimal against the account, you know, but your mindset sort of spikes in and it's like, oh my God. So you've got to be a bit wary of that. So really, you've got to come to one of the things I often say, know thyself. So you've got to know how capable you are with stress. So that's the first thing, work on your mindset. Now, that can be through basic planning. Now, see, with yours, it is, you do your planning and one thing or another, and I do watch the journey. Now, to have a fixed figure can, in some ways, be dangerous, okay? What you should have is a rough figure rather than a fixed. If you want to do 1% a week, which is roughly about 4% a month, it's there or thereabouts. Between 2 and 4 is a good benchmark to work to. But don't be disappointed if you don't hit it. So that's one way to level up. It's actually, if you don't get there, don't worry. You'll often hear me say, start with 0, end with 1. All that means is, as long as I've got more at the end of the day than I started with, it's a good day. Even if it was by £1, just one, or I know you live overseas, euro. So €1. So if you have €1 more than you started with, then that's a good day, all right? Ideally, you want enough to cover your wages. Well, that comes down to your account size and how much you can put into the market. Now, I work to a mantra of it's £1 for every 1,000. So for every £1,000 that I have available to me, and I'm not talking leverage, I mean liquid money. So that would be how much I have in my account, versus how, if I had prop, how much drawdown I have. Then that way I've already got a benchmark in my head. If the market's only willing to give me 10 pips that day and I'm putting that £1 into the market on £1,000 account, well then I made 10 quid and I'm happy with that 10 quid. I don't so much look at the percentage point at the end of the week. I kind of look at that more at the end of the month, and then I can sort of judge, was it a good month, was it a bad month? Yes, no. It's kind of what you see in my Vanguard. I only look at that once a month, and that's all I'm really interested in. From there, I just make a plan as to trade what I want. Now, let me see if I can put this into terms. I'll break my wage down, okay? I start with an arbitrary wage of, I want about 30,000 a year, roughly, give or take. And again, you see that in the Vanguard. It's very easy to sort of track what I do. Why is it 30,000? Well, where I live, it's a decent wage. So work out what you need, what you want from a monetary point of view. Not percentage, monetary. Okay, so 30,000. How many weeks of the year do you want to trade, and how often are you wrong? Well, I allow myself about a month to be wrong. You know, so it's like 30 days of my trading, I'm going to be wrong. I'm going to get it wrong. All right, so I allow for that. So that means I have about 48 net profitable weeks. All right, so I want to work 48 weeks of the year, and I need to break that 30,000 down by 48. Okay, so 48 or 30,000 divided by 48, it's roughly about 600 quid. I don't like working Monday. I don't like working Friday. You know that, and you know the reasons why. And the markets are unpredictable. Again, if you're trading on a Monday morning, it's gambling. Trading on a Friday afternoon, it's gambling. And I know people don't like to hear that, and I get kicked into it, but I don't care. I'm not changing. It's something that I've learned over the years. Right? So I'm left with 3 days. Well, 600 by 3 days is 200 quid. I can average 10 to 20 pips on a top end. So if I'm looking at 20 pip movement at £5 a point, because I like to cap my positions as well, that's 100 quid. I have to do it twice. As soon as I'm paid, I quit. I don't need to push for the extra percentages or anything like that. I just know if I've hit over 200 quid, I'm ahead of the game. And every time it's above, it adds up. And then at the end of the week, if I've done 800 quid, amazing, I'm a day ahead of myself. And it's why now I'm in December, I'm coursing along, I'm doing very little in December because I'm paid up for the year. That's how I level up. I just level up with what I want at the top, break it down into its smallest component, and then work from there. But then see if you've got an account big enough to give you what you need. Now, if I work on a £5 a point, it's a nice round figure. It's half a lot. It also means if I'm wrong, I can build into that rather than maxing out. So I actually start my positions at the smallest point as well and then build into them rather than going 100% into market and then worrying about things. I never do that. I start with the smallest I can go to and then build it up, because that way I can protect the account, keeps the mindset right, because I'm always trading from a point of calmness, and then from there I'm happy with what I get. I hope that kind of makes sense. Let me just touch on that smalling part again. One of the things that a lot of traders do, and I see it over and over, is they over leverage what they're doing. In other words, just because they can put £10 onto the account, into the market rather, they think they should. No, while you're putting in £10, I'm only putting in £1. And the reason I do that is because if I'm wrong, my account can take it, but it also gives me the ability to work my way out of it without damaging in the process. Now, that's what madness is all about. It's all about keeping my mindset flat, and it's also about growth. Because if I build into something backwards, I will naturally be putting on a bigger position size, what I was working to in the first place. And then when it runs to target, it pays me more. But at the same time, if it runs to stop, it actually costs me less. Now, this is all about how you level up. Now, I've done that simply for mindset point of view. Know thyself. I don't like to be swinging at the fences. I don't like to be having to fight fires. I just like to plod along. So my trading plan is designed to go backwards for it to go forwards. And that way, it keeps me calm. And then at the end of the week, well, you see the results. And the results have come just now with a lovely bacon sandwich by my beautiful wife. And that's how you level up. You keep her smiling and you get your bacon sandwiches. How's that?
And a coffee.
And a coffee.
I've got a fresh one, don't worry.
You've got a fresh one as well? Oh, see that? That's how you level up, kid. You love someone who loves you, and it makes you love your job and fight the world. I hope that answers your question, son, but I'll talk to you in the live streams, and always keep trucking. You'll do fine. Catch you soon.